So we're in the 98 Accord here, and pardon the darkness, we intentionally did this to show you the dash lights not working. Quick shout out for the stereo here. This is a Jensen CAR710. Check out the video at the end of our video here. Awesome radio if you're looking for a low cost way to get into Apple CarPlay. Looking at the 98 Accord here, you can see the lights are off. You can actually see the mileage on the car, but when I flip this on, there's the headlights, but then everything disappears. Even the P, you'll notice the P shows back up there, but when I turn the lights on, it disappears. And it's not the brightness, because I'm turning, you can't really see it, but I'm turning the brightness up and we're still not getting anything. So what we need to do is actually get into, let me turn the car off. The box for this is over here. So we need to actually start taking this apart to get to that, to replace the actual brain, so to speak, to get the dash lights to work again. So we are back in the daylight hours, and just a quick note, this is the box you want to actually replace. You can find these in Pick and Saves. We found this one in a Pick and Save, but they are difficult and you cannot find these new. So just throwing that out there. We are going to make a video on replacing this. What you need to do is actually get in here. Let me pull that off of there. And you can see the OEM one, that white thing back there. And you have to pull this, you have to pull the kick plate off, and then pull that wiring harness down. It's a somewhat involved process, so we're going to save this for another day. So stay tuned for that video. I'm going to put this back on here. And today what we're going to do is actually bypass the dimmer switch. There is a plug. If I were to point directly through the tachometer and the instrument cluster here, there's a plug back here where you can bypass a few wires, and granted, you lose your actual dimming ability, but when you bypass this, it actually, when you turn the lights on, you will have full brightness, so your lights on your dash will actually work again. So we're going to try one or two things. We're either going to use a wire or a paper clip, and either one works. So to get started with this, what we're going to do is grab our Phillips screwdriver. You may want a shorter Phillips screwdriver, but we have this longer one here, and it's just the right angle to where we can actually get in here. Our goal here is to remove the actual black trim ring. So I'm going to do this and pull these out of here. And now a quick note, you should be able to pull this out, but we have a really cool set. If you do not have a set of these tools, check out the link in the description for this video. These are very much invaluable when it comes to pulling doors apart, trim situations like this, all the little things where you don't really want to get in or break something. These can help you pry a piece of plastic off in the interior. From what I've seen, we should be able to carefully pull this out of here. Let me try this one here. Let me pull this, there we go. And then there we go. So that just popped out. And I need to do that on the other side here. There we go. So that side, I just slid this down in there and it popped out. So let me... One of the challenges that you can see here on the trip odometer button, it needs to go above, there we go, just like that. That was actually what was holding it. So we'll just pull this out of here. There we go. Now looking inside here, there's a couple screws I'm seeing. There's Phillips here, here, and here. And all of the dust from the year 1998 to present day. So let me just unscrew these one by one. So this is the last screw to come out, and quick note, if you do not have a magnetic tray, go ahead and get yourself a magnetic tray. There's a link in the description for that. We have been sitting here working on getting this out, this instrument cluster out, and this will definitely take some finesse and patience. But if you look down here, there are two pins. There's a pin here and a pin here. And there was something holding, like at one point we had this plastic pry tool in here and I was pushing up on it. And I basically took my pinky fingers and I was in here doing this, and I managed to, whatever was holding it, it popped off of it. So I'm guessing as we push this back in to reinstall it, it's going to like click back in this into place, so to speak. But so looking at this, you want to carefully pull this out. There we go. So awesome news, the instrument cluster is moving and free. So you want to gently pull this forward, and this is the plug you're after. And this is a very important distinction to make. The front corner here, the red wire there, that's where the left side of your paper clip's going to go. And then there's a white or cream colored wire with a red stripe right here. That's not to be confused with the red wire with a white stripe. I'm actually amazed Honda did that. But the two wires you want are the red wire here and then this white or cream colored wire with the red stripe. You're going to take this paper clip, and obviously I have this one bent, pretty much custom bent already. You're going to plug it into the red wire and then plug it into the white / cream colored wire with the red stripe. And what you're doing is you're bypassing the dimmer switch here. So you're going to, when you turn the lights on, you're going to get full brightness on your dash lights, but at least you have, you know, lights at night. So let's carefully, that's in there nice and solid. Let's carefully move this back. And I don't know how well we're going to be able to see these during the day, but let's give this a try right now. Okay, so not the best video here, but with the help of our plastic trim removal tool case, we've able to shade this so you can see the lights turning on and off now. So our dash lights are back with that little paperclip hack. And looking at this online, I've seen this work on Civics and Prelude. So it's not a one-size-fits-all universal, but if you have a late 90s into early 2000s car, Honda like this, there's a good chance that you might be able to use a paper clip, or we're going to actually try and make it a little bit more permanent and use this wire right now and install this where that paper clip's at. So this works really, really great. It took us, what, 15 minutes to pull this out, and we just got to put, carefully put it back in. So let's install this. We'll be right back. So here's our, dare I say, finished product, but this wire is definitely thicker than that paper clip quite a bit. It's even thicker than these actual wires in the wiring harness here. But those were probably ½ inch or so that I wiggled down in there. And they're only going to get so much in there before they just stop going in, which is what I found. So we're just going to do this, and I may just try and do this. There we go. Just to keep this in one spot. But let's put this back in here. And there's that. And when we pulled this apart, there was something right here. Like if I were to push, it feels like, yeah, our holes are lining up here. So we'll put our screws back in, but it feels like it's good to go. And just doing a quick check here. Let's see here. Yeah, I can see the orange. The easiest way to tell is look at the actual orange on the speedometer needle there, and I can see it going off and on. So we got it, folks. Let me put this back together and we'll show you the finished product. Just a minute. So this is in here, nice and tight, 4 Phillips screws. Something I didn't mention earlier in the video, these aren't really anything major you have to worry about, and technically you wouldn't have to take them off, but as we were pulling the instrument cluster off, one of these slipped off, so I just took them off so they didn't fall down in the dash. But they're little rubber bump stops, so to speak, for this guy here. So we'll put this back on. I want to say overall this took us maybe 20 minutes start to finish, and you probably could do it quicker if you weren't necessarily recording a video per se. But keep in mind you have to get these right there. There we go. And then this pretty much just pops right back into place on the sides here. 2 Phillips head screws. I'll use the, might want to shout out a magnetic screwdriver because one of these fell down, almost lost it in the dash. So having a Phillips magnetic screwdriver is probably not a bad idea. That one's tight. There you go. And just like that, folks, we are done. That's tight. Everything's tight. We have lights. So we're good. If you like classic cars, if you like fixing your old school cars, if you like fixing your A to B transportation, if you like Chevelles and Chargers, if you like tech, Fresh Vintage is your channel. Please like and subscribe. And thanks for watching, and keep it between the ditches.